This is a shot of some of the leaf and debris that comes down the river. This is the intake structure right here. Below that there is a rack, a steel rack that's 12 feet long that keeps the big debris out, keeps the logs and the sticks out, but it does get clogged and it gets trapped with some of this stuff here because it gets wrapped around the leaves or the twigs. Here's some of it coming in. We're running right now, so you can see there's current flowing in here. When we're running at full steam, this is very rapid. The amount of water that goes in here, you could not swim against. At the head here, that's probably 6-7 feet deep right there. And then when we have when we're running full steam, we're running the 240 cubic feet a second, that's going through that spot right there. So you would not swim against that, you would not swim out of that current. You would be sucked into the rack, and that's where you would drown. If you look upstream there, see if I can zoom into that. You can see where the water's coming into the head pond. There's a slight rapids there. You can see the coloration of the trees starting to turn. Pan down this way a little bit. Nice and slow. Those barrels, those are our boat buoys. And the buoys have to come out this afternoon, or this morning rather. We'll take them out. Gonna have my young helper helping me this morning for that. Basically, we unhook it from this side over here, where it's connected. It's connected back to a point at a rock. You can see a stake sticking up. We'll unhook it there, and we'll pull it to the other side over there, and by that hemlock tree that it's tied to, and we'll take the buoys up probably 10 feet onto shore, and then we'll stack them there for the winter. We generally don't see the ice forming that height, simply because we are way over this, but I like to have way over the top of our flashboards. But I like to have the height difference just in case as the ice builds up and backs up, just to protect it. You can see we're spilling water over the basically we're still going through the flashboards. Our flow is still good, so we're maintaining our minimum flow going downstream. These flashboards right there, that very first one next to the concrete there, that is where we'll build the fish ladder or the fish bypass so that they can get through without going through these turbines. And I'm not sure what the extent is, but we're going to use that plunge pool right there as the discharge for that. So we'll see how that goes. That's going to be not happening for a couple of years yet. We used that as a condition for approval, and we were, that just because it's a sizable project, it's expensive, engineering's got to be done, so we believe that that's going to be acceptable to the to everybody involved in the process of getting licensing. In this box right there is our transducer. Our transducer drops down through a tube down below, you can see. That gives us the height elevation and sends it through cable all the way back to the power plant and lets us know what our elevation is and of the pond level elevation, and actually sends that into the system, and the system then maintains that height. We are right now, this is right where we like to run. So we are at our set point at this point. And it's just below the top of the flashbores. You can see the truck just went by there. I thought there was another vehicle, but not. But up there, you can see there's guardrails up there. That is State Route 30. That's the only vantage point. Oh, here comes the car now. That's the only section that you can see this power station from State Route. Other than people knowing that it's here, nobody even, they drive by it day in, day out, don't even know it's here. Nice peaceful setting. We'll wander up this way a little bit. That steel plate that's got the wood setting on it, that steel plate goes in front of the intake, up by where the transducer sits. It slides down, and it is so we can dewater the intake itself. We've had to do that. In 2015 we did it, and put new seals on the gates and did a physical inspection of everything below grade. Everything still looked great, so we were happy, everybody was happy, and we moved on. That is one of the pines that we'll be taking down come March. It's just because of the sizable trees. There are 7 of those trees that size in here. As we indicated before, they should have been removed 40 years ago. Now they are problematic trees. As you can see, that one here. The branches are all gone off the back side of the hill. That tree will fall directly across the driveway and into the pond. So we don't want that to happen, and it does drop limbs, and the limbs that drops are the size of small trees. So have to be careful. There's another one back in there that we're going to have removed. There's another one. Then we get to these 2 right here. And these pines, as you can see, are 100+ foot tall. And it is shading out most of the growth under here. We did have some logs taken out, or trees taken out, to accommodate those trees falling. The plan is that they will both fall crisscross of each other. There's the other one. And you can see that. Once these trees are removed, I'm going to get a life lease on this 4 acres of property that's up this way, all the way up to the bridge. and I will build a house right there. People say, why do you want to do that? Well, you know, because I'm almost 60 years old, and it'd be nice to have a house sitting right there. You can see the river. We're more than 100 feet away from the river, so that meets some of the EPA requirements. The driveway's already in. We're not going to be able to. At this point, we're not going to be able to put a septic system in, so we'll have to have a composting toilet, or we're going to probably go with an electric composting toilet. Squirrel running over there through the brush. You can see there's a white post right up there. That is the edge of the old road. So this is not a very deep lot here, so it has to be a smaller house. But it's going to be a slab house. It's going to be built on a slab. And we will heat that with a combination boiler. And we will also have a wood stove, and the wood stove will be, we're going to buy a soapstone stove with the high efficiency ratings in it. Simply because the brush that lays on the ground I can pick up, cut up, keep it cleaned, and I can burn that. So that's the plan at this time. Our water will come from a dug well, simply because it'll be more accommodating for us to do that way. We could drill a well, but again, we'll see. The idea of having a life lease on the property, I tried to buy the property to start with, and they weren't really keen on selling it because the driveway comes right through here. There's also the power line is right below where we're walking. It's a buried power line. They didn't want to lose their access by selling off and having something happen and whatever, but they were inclined to talk about the life lease and do it that way. So lots of things that will happen or we're planning on happening. Of course, everything's still contingent on making sure that we end up with a license to operate. But there's a good look at those pines and the height of those. So those are dangerous trees when they get that tall. Either way, either direction that they fall is going to be bad. And the problem was they were so big that we couldn't get conventional logging guys in here to get them. Well, number one, there's not enough really timber. I mean, we've got trees, but they're small trees, and we couldn't get anything really timbered from a timber company, and they're actually too big to go to the local sawmills. So we have to take that into consideration. So they did find an Amish mill down below somewhere that said they would take those trees. So they're actually going to pay the logger to take them, which is fine with us because they're going to cut them and not charge us anything to haul them out of here, and that's the plus. So we just had to do some prep work to get some of those trees cut out of there, and so that the trees could fall come March. and they will work on it. But all those big tall trees are right here at the beginning. Getting rid of those tall trees will actually help everything, all the small growth. As you see, there's no growth on the floor, and that's because it's all shaded. So we've got to get the sunlight on top of that and help that grow a little bit. Turn that into to a little more safer soils and more compatible for growth. You get out here, you get a little more sunlight because the trees aren't blocking it as much. So you've got some young growth here, but then you get behind the other trees, then there's no growth. That's a sign of a dead forest. If you don't have growth on the floor, you've got a dead forest. Trees may look pretty, but that's not really what you need. You want to have pretty trees, but you also want to have a healthy forest. There's no spot for the squirrels and the rabbits and the chipmunks and basically anything that lives on the ground to hide back behind all this, because it's open. So that's a disadvantage. So then your wildlife doesn't come in there either, because they've got to have cover. All right, we're back to where we started on our walk. We were way up there by those trees that are sticking out there. The mountain over there is Burnham Mountain. And on the other side of the Burnham Mountain is Speculator Mountain. There goes a vehicle down the road. As you can see, that's a hill. That's all uphill. This plant right here that's growing, this is Mullins. It's not quite dry. It's Indian toilet paper, very soft. The Indians used it as toilet paper. It also was used as, it's got lots of medicinal purposes. Keep some of it dried down in the powerhouse to make tea out of. The tea is an excellent decongestant. Not that I'm a doctor, but that's what they, what the natives have told me. Some of the herbalists have told me that. I've done a lot of my own research on it, and it sure looks like it's something that we should be holding on to. So I've got some, haven't used it yet. A little leery, not that I'm leery of trying it, but I haven't really been sick enough to say, all right, I've got to do that. But one of the other, you can make a tea out of it, or the other thing they say that you can smoke it. So I'm not into doing that either, so I'll try the tea first. This again is our butterfly area, butterfly and pollinator gardens. This has all been seeded with a mixture recommended by the Soil Water Conservation Department of our county government. They came in, looked it over, and said this is the prime spot to put it. Even though we don't have water access to water it, we get spray off of the water coming over and the water coming up. The mist is continually through here, and it covers all of this area here. Alright, so I think I'm going to cut this one off right here. This was just a quick addition to let you see what's happening up here, up on the top. And then once again, hey, you guys like and subscribe, and that helps me out. Anybody have any comments, leave them down below. I'll read them all. Whether it's that you're an idiot or whatever, we know I'm an idiot, so you don't really need to tell me that. But anyhow, that's where we're at for today. You guys have a great day. Hopefully the sun is shining where you're at.